Hey, welcome to Brunch with Brian today. Starting right on time for once. I thank you for your patience when I don't start exactly on time. So here we are. We're actually in Boise today, in Boise, Idaho, and we're visiting our daughter Trinity. Some of you guys know that Trinity graduated in December from a nursing program, a very highly regarded nursing program, and she got a job at St. Luke's in Boise. So she's a nurse in the pediatrics department, and she loves it. And so we're here visiting her, and so yeah, and it makes me think about your whys. It makes me think about why you do it. Why do you work hard? Why do you struggle to make money? Whatever your job is, and that's why we are so devoted to helping you make a lot of money in real estate, because we really want you to have the lifestyle that you desire, and we want you to fulfill all your whys. So when I think of my whys, God, family, and country obviously are right there at the top. But most of us are really want to do great things for our family, and we really, we want to give back to our church. We want to tithe to our church and give charities and do wonderful things like that. But you want to take care of your family, and you want to make sure your kids are taken care of. Family is such a huge thing to me. Boy, we have three kids, Dashiell, Kale, and Trinity. Some of you guys talk to Dashiell frequently. He works in the office. Kale also works for us, but not as much taking the phone calls in the office. He's more of our tech guy, back of the house guy. And then Trinity, of course, is a nurse, but I think she's going to probably come work for us at some point. She's in Boise now, but going to be moving back down to Arizona. I family is so important. If I didn't have my three kids, it would really that's really such a important thing to me. So whoever is important to you in your life, I want you to really do what you can for that person in every way, and spend your time with that person. And I always talk about, what do you love? Look at the things you love in life and make sure you're spending a lot of time with those people that you love and doing those things that you love. And the problem with the world and just the way the world is set up, and this is, I don't know, it's the problem, it's just the way it is that you need money in this world. I mean, it would be wonderful if this was the land of milk and honey and everybody was a millionaire and nobody had to work. I mean, it would be, but that's not the reality of the world. So the reality of the world is, you got to figure out some kind of way to make money that's as pain free as possible, and sucks as little life out of you as possible. Okay, so I always talk about jobs I've had, and every job is a time cost and an emotional cost. So how much time and emotion have you put into jobs in the past? Some of my jobs, I poured a lot of emotion and a lot of time, and you didn't really get the rewards. Okay, and that's the beauty of real estate when you get it set up and organized and you know what you're doing, is that for the amount of time and emotional energy you put into it, you get high rewards. And it doesn't excise a lot of emotional costs. Some jobs that you do are difficult. I mean, like Trinity's job nursing, we were just talking about it with her a lot yesterday. And, that's an emotional, some jobs have an emotional toll on you. And so, when you see people dying in front of you, depending on what kind of nursing, what you're doing in your life, but just think about your job right now and what you're doing to make money. And maybe it's full-time real estate. And think of how much of an emotional cost, how much stress is there to that, how much of an emotional cost, how much of a time cost is there. And you want to do everything you can to minimize the emotional cost. And a big part of that is just getting it all organized and set up properly and automated, and so your emotions aren't riding on every day. You get a consistent, solid setup that you can count on. Okay, so you don't want to be riding a roller coaster of emotions in this business, but it can be that way in the beginning. Before you have it sort of solid, it's kind of a roller coaster. And when you get your first deal, that's the first big going over that first big one. That's very exciting. Okay, so think about it like a roller coaster. Some people like a roller coaster, some people, there's a really good scene in this movie called Parenthood. And here we're talking about whys and we're talking about how, your kids, if you have kids, I know that's a huge, massive why for you. And there's this movie Parenthood, and towards the end, Steve Martin is a very fretful father in this movie. And towards the end, somebody's talking to him, and it's an elderly, wise woman, and she says, some people like a roller coaster. Parenting is like a roller coaster. There's lots of ups and downs. Some people like a merry-go-round. They just want to go sit on the merry-go-round and kind of watch the sights go by. But that's not parenting. Parenting is a lot more like a roller coaster because there's so many ups and downs to it. So I'm glad I'm on the roller coaster. It's a lot more fun, but it is a roller coaster, so there's some scary moments, obviously, with kids. Always. And that's the same thing with real estate. Real estate can be kind of a roller coaster in the beginning, especially when you're just, getting your first few deals and getting everything set up and that. But hopefully pretty soon you got it set up a little bit more like a merry-go-round, because it's just, you're able to sort of sit back and watch the automation work and you're not riding the roller coaster. So, but again, guys, roller coasters are fun, and maybe you got into real estate because it's an exciting field. It is an exciting field when you can do a deal and make 50 grand, make as much as people make in 1 year in their whole, in one deal. That's pretty exciting. And when you really understand the passive cash flow, when you understand the cash flow business, the creative financing, we call them pre-funded properties. When you understand that side of the business, then every deal you do adds another, adds not just wood to the fire that's going to burn quickly. This is a long time deal. Remember, when you're buying these type of properties, you're buying them once, but they're going to be making money for you. They may be making money for your kids 20 years from now. I want you to buy a property before the end of the year that your grandkids have 30 years from now, and they're collecting $1,500 a month rent, and they're thinking, wow, I'm sure glad Grandma and Grandpa bought this house, back there in 2022. So this is a great market too, guys. It's really loosening up. There's a ton of opportunity. So it's a Friday today, so that's always a great day to set up your weekend. So get going on your weekend today. Let's get a lot of action going this weekend. Make your calls, do your FISBO calling. And a lot of you guys are coming to our event a week from today, and that's our pre-funded property event. That's all about creative financing deals, and we're going to be making a ton of calls for you. So if you're coming to that event, you must be calling this weekend. We sent you the FISBO script, and so you've got to be setting up, you got to get some opening call scripts done. So again, the opening call scripts, guys, are FISBO, the FISBO call script where you're calling for sale by owners. There's also a realtor calling script and a distressed seller calling script if you're calling leads that you sourced that are off market properties. And we also got that landlord calling script. Don't forget that. There's some really good deals with the landlords nowadays, so I want you calling on landlord deals as well. So if you're coming to that event in a week, you better be calling a lot of leads this weekend, getting a hold of a lot of people. And then remember, we're going to call and do the closing calls for you Friday and Saturday. Next Friday and Saturday, we're going to be doing closing calls galore, your deals, closing your deals. So I hope you're in that event. The event's full now, but if you want to get on the waiting list for the next one, call the office, 888-RICH-NOW. I want you at the next one if you weren't at this one, because a whole bunch of people are coming out of this event with deals, and that is the first deal in their career. So we've done this for so many students, and I'd like to do it for you, but obviously you can't get into this pre-funded. Just call the office to get into the next one. It's coming right up because we're going to start doing these many times a year. So I want to close your deal. So think about your whys. That's kind of where we started the today's chat. So think about your whys and devote your time and energy and emotional energy to your whys. So I will achieve my whys. Let's do that one. Okay, ready? That's our affirmation for today. I count it down and we do it 3 times. Okay, ready? I will achieve my whys. 1, 2, 3. I will achieve my whys. I will achieve my whys. I will achieve my whys. But you got to figure out what your whys are, so make sure you got these all written out, your goals and your bucket list. That's really important that you create a bucket list, because if you don't know what your whys, if I ask you right now, what are all your whys, and if you could just list them off, well, then you don't have it written out. Okay, let's start deep breathing. Nice deep breath in. Big smile. Yes, I'm trying to finish by 10. 10 minutes. Deep breath in. I'm not going to make it. One more deep breath in. Oh, the big smile always feels great. Awesome. Okay, thank you guys for being here on Brunch with Brian. Always a great way to start your day, continue your day. I will be back on Monday with you, so can't wait to see you then. We'll be still in Boise here, having a wonderful time, achieving our whys, spending great time with our family. We got both the boys, Dashiell, Kayla, and brought them with us from Phoenix area, and we're up here in Boise with Trinity, and it is wonderful. So enjoy your life, have a wonderful weekend, but don't forget, if you're in the pre-funded property event next weekend, you got to be calling leads over this week, so we have closing calls for you to make at the event. And get signed up for the next one if you're not in this upcoming one. 888 Rich now. Make sure you call, talk to Dashiell, and we'll talk to you soon. Now, guys, you know what? I never talk about this, but give hearts and those other things. I never talk about this, but I think it's good, and I don't ever ask for them. But throw some hearts in there. Just if you, whenever you pop on, if you think about it, give me a heart or a like or whatever. Okay. All right. So we will talk to you guys on Monday. Until then, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and of course, taking action.